Hello and welcome to day 14 of 31 and 31. I'm John from Just Another Horror Podcast. You can find us on Stitcher, iTunes, and Podomatic. We release a new show every Monday. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show. Right now we're currently reviewing the Halloween series, but we're only doing 2, 3, and 4. We released 2 on Monday, and tomorrow we'll be recording 3 and 4. And I'm going to put up the old episodes where myself and Cobra reviewed 3, 4, and 5. Now, we also recorded and reviewed 6. Due to my inability to do anything correctly when I was starting this show off, that episode got really screwed. If you dig the deepest depths of the surface internet, you can find our episode, and it sounds terrible. I'm going to tell you what I think of Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. Where to begin? This movie it has Paul Rudd in it right after he did Clueless. I'm not sure, but I think Clueless came out after this. This also has Dr. Loomis is back again, Donald Pleasance, right before he died. That's sad, because the way he goes out in this movie... Anyway, if you've seen part 5, you know that there's like a guy in black running around and letting Michael Myers out of prison, and you're like left at the end of part 5, which, by the way, I think was filmed like 7 years before this movie came out. You're left wondering, who is this guy? What does he want to do? Is he helping Michael Myers? Is he trying to kill him? Well... He also seems pretty powerful. I mean, if you remember seeing it, he seems like a real tough guy, right? Well, Jamie's still in this movie. Jamie from 4 and 5, Michael's niece. Only it's not Danielle Harris because apparently they didn't want to pay her the money for this, which is only like a 10-minute scene. They didn't want to pay her for a 10-minute scene? Anyway, depending on which version you watch, Michael Myers had sex with his niece and created a baby, and now... Jamie has the baby and puts it in a bus station before being murdered, or being murdered later in a hospital. Again, there are 2 cuts of this movie. I don't need to... Two cuts of this movie. And the other was the producer's cut, which is really strange. Usually you get the director's cut, but the producer's cut, it fills in a lot of the gaps that the regular one has, such as who the man in black is, what he's doing, who this cult is, and everything like that. But it's also stupid. At least with part 6 regular, as I'm going to refer to it, you just get straightforward slashing with really bizarre backstory that goes nowhere. It's almost like the whole movie is a red herring. Paul Rudd plays the grown-up version of somebody Laurie Strode babysat in the first movie, and he's been living across the Myers house his whole life, and now a new family lives there, and there's a kid who thinks he hears voices, an abusive dad, and a little shrill mom. Everybody's related in this town, and there's only one street in the town. I drew a map. If you want to check out our Facebook page and our Twitter, I drew one a long time ago, but this is the second version of it. Tried to include the junior college that now exists in Haddonfield. The town is expanding. Anyway, Loomis is still hobbling around. Him and Paul Rudd find the baby in the bus station, and a bunch of bullshit happens, and the next thing you know, we're at Smith's Grove, where Wynn, the guy that Loomis yelled at in part 1 for 5 seconds, is apparently the head of a cult that's using Michael Myers to run around and just kill people based on constellations. You try to make sense of this, because I can't. So they're in Smith's Grove, they have the baby, they're going to sacrifice the baby because it's another Myers person they can... Here's what blows my mind. Michael Myers kills his family members, but he also kills other people, okay? He kills other people, but his objective that this cult has given him is to kill his family members, which will stop him from being able to kill. Then why did they have him impregnate that Danielle Harris character, Jamie, to make another person for him to kill so he doesn't kill? Why not just kill Jamie? Bah! Mind blown. Anyway, depending on which version you watch, again, Paul Rudd either smacks the shit out of Michael Myers with a pipe and makes him bleed green goo that he injected into him, or Paul Rudd puts on a wizard cloak, puts a bunch of stones on the ground, and Michael Myers is like catatonic and can't move, and then Wynn comes out and gives him his clothes and sends him out the door, and then in comes Loomis, and oh no, I have the power of the thorn on my hand now. Ah, what does that mean? Who the fuck knows? Nobody knows. This movie makes no fucking sense at all. Ah! And somehow, it's better than 5. Somehow, it's better than 5. And I think it's because we have a head explosion, which is awesome. And we also have somebody getting their face slammed through a door thing, like a barred door. I don't know. But the kills in this are really, really good. And I feel like the movie could have been like a mixture of the producer's cut and the real one to make a movie that's somewhat cohesive, although it still doesn't make any goddamn sense. There's literally a scene at the end of the movie where they're walking around in a room with fetuses in jars. What? Were they making baby Michael Myerses? This movie sucks. It's terrible. And, you know, I remember reviewing this with Cobra and just thinking that this was going to be the bottom. And it's you know, there's a couple more in this series that are worse. I think Resurrection personally is worse. I think H2O is pretty bad. But this one, if you haven't seen the whole series, don't even... Like, I bet if you've seen up to 5 and you're like, what is going to happen next? Well, nothing. Nothing's going to happen. They put the Man in Black and the Thorn symbol in Part 5 with literally no idea what was going to happen next. They had no clue what it meant. And it took 7 years to come up with this garbled mess. So, yeah, that's what I think of The Curse of Michael Myers. It's a garbled fucking mess. I'll see you tomorrow with a better movie.